Mike Mitchell with Intimidator. I'm going to give you a very quick informal overview of one of our 2017 Crew Series 800cc utility vehicles. This is orange in color, obviously, and it has our XD4 package on it. Some of the biggest benefits of our UTVs, of course, besides the value and that they are manufactured in America, is how we make them. It all starts with an 1¼ inch A-arms. We use a polyurethane suspension bushing. It is not rubber. You do not grease it like other manufacturers' bushings. They are rubber. If you don't grease them, they can dry rot and fall apart. Our frame is made out of 1½ by 3 inch frame. The frame supporting the front suspension is made out of 1½ square tubing, and it's actually counterlevered through the front frame rail, and then it goes back into closer towards the center of the utility vehicle. And of course, that's going to add additional strength on the front end. Another really big factor that people notice is how large our rotors and calipers and spindles are. We use a 10¼ inch slip-on rotor. It's an automotive style with an oversized caliper. Industry standard is between 7 and 8 inches, and it's basically a flat disc that is screwed or bolted onto the steering knuckle. The steering knuckle is 2½ times the weight of a Polaris Ranger. Not only is it stronger and larger, another benefit is right here where the rack and pinion attaches to the steering arm. From this distance of here to the distance of the center line of the hub or the ball joint is greater. So if you drive one of our vehicles that do not have power steering on it and you compare it to a Polaris Ranger or another manufacturer that has power steering, ours is going to be easier to turn, and there's going to be less kickback if you're in four-wheel drive and if you hit something, which makes it a lot better. And of course, once you put power steering on it, there's going to be zero feedback or kickback, and it's just an overall great experience. Most of our vehicles sold these days have the power steering on it. The XD4 package, with that you get high and low beam LED headlights. With the base package, you just get regular beam LED headlights, although that is unusual for another manufacturer's base package to put LED headlights on a base model. You get a 2-inch front receiver hitch. You can get 4 different colors. You get this orange, you can get an OD green, metallic black, or a real tree camo that I'll explain here in a minute. 27-inch tires with 14-inch aluminum wheels are standard on the XD4 package, and also an electric bed dump. Now, as far as our plastic, we use a type of manufacturing process for the plastic that allows us to have our colors all the way through. So as you can see, it's orange on the bottom, orange on the top. The black and the green is the same way. Benefit of that, obviously, is not painted like a lot of other manufacturers do. So if you scratch it with this, there's actually a process where you can buff it out, kind of like a gel coat on a boat. Our camo plastic is a little bit different. We're the only manufacturer that uses this process. We start off with a black sheet of plastic, and then that's a flat sheet. Then we put the camo layer on top of that, then a clear coat layer on top of the camo. And then once that's formed, it's going to be vacuum formed into shape. And so with our camo, if you scratch it, it will not peel, it will not flake, it also will not fade in the sun. It's a very, very good camo process. Our side plastic, this is an ABS high impact plastic, so even if it's below freezing outside and if you smack this against a tree, it will not crack, it will not break. Our machines are manufactured here in Batesville, Arkansas, from the raw metal. The seats are made in Mountain Home, Arkansas, and our plastics made in Conway, Arkansas. So these are manufactured in USA. Our seats are another really big factor that people point out, people love. It is defined enough to keep you in place if you're going pretty fast around a turn. Also, it is a traditional bench seat with, you can put 3 passengers very comfortable in it. Our vehicles, we offer the most payload capacity in its class. The Classic Series is rated at 1,600 pounds. Cargo capacity is the most in its class. The Classic Series is rated at 1,200 pounds, while the Crew is rated at 1,000 pounds, so that is equal to a Polaris Ranger. We also can tow the most in its class. With the built-in 2-inch tow receiver hitch, you can tow 2,100 pounds. You can see that we have the same A-arms, same polyurethane bushing, same rotors and everything on the back as well. It's just built very, very beefy. Another benefit, most people are not going to tow 2,100 pounds, or they're not going to put 1,200 pounds in the bed. So the way that we've made our shocks, of course it has adjustable collar on the bottom to stiffen them up. You also have 4 mounting holes on the top. So if you're going to put a water tank or something really heavy in the bed, you can just unbolt it here and then relocate it, bolt it in right there, and that's going to give you close to about 1 inch of additional clearance, and it's going to stiffen up the suspension, which is going to make it ride a lot better if you low down the vehicle. You have standard brake lights on our base and XD4 package. Now, talking about our 4-wheel drive system. Our 4-wheel drive system is one of the best out there. It's very unique, as in all 4 wheels will pull. If you leave it in 2-wheel drive, and if you leave the rear differential unlocked, right now it's unlocked, you're in basically 1-wheel drive, which some manufacturers call a turf mode. So basically, if you're in grass and you turn in 1-wheel drive, or basically in 2-wheel drive with the rear differential unlocked, you're not going to tear up the grass. You lock the rear differential, it's going to be 100% locked. You flip it to 4-wheel drive, which is shift on the fly 4-wheel drive, that's going to lock the front end. If you go forward or straight, it's going to lock it 100%. If you turn, it's going to allow the inner wheel to chirp a little bit, which, although it will increase the steering radius, it's not a limited slip. It's so much better because that inner tire in both wheels are actually going to pull. So this is a very capable machine. Of course, you have a waterproof glove box right here. You have your 2 cup holders. You have an area here where you can mount additional accessories. Your speedometer here that has your fuel gauge on it. It's got a trip and odometer. Then you have your warning cluster right here. And all of our vehicles have tilt steering on them as well. You just pull this back and you can go up and down. Well, I appreciate it. I hope this is a really quick... Oh, one thing I do want to mention as well, and I apologize for not pointing this out earlier, but our 800cc, we use inner front fenders on them, which when you drive in mud, it just makes it so much easier to clean. And then here underneath the hood, we use a inner firewall, and then of course you have your regular firewall as well. Again, Intimidator UTV, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you.